part two of but well, a little while ago I took a look at this guy here. And now that I'm on a flat surface, let's just go over what it looks like and all that. So, let's see, can I get a little more light? Let's see, I probably can. Just bring some extra light over. There we go. That's better. Okay, so let's go over this in a little more in detail. If you're wondering why it looks a little more shiny, that's because I put some smoke fluid in right here, which again, this part here comes clean off. Let's see, let me just change it to live chat. There we go. So this part right here came off. I did put some smoke fluid in, but I've yet to see any smoke come out, which had me thinking if there's actually a smoke unit inside here. It still runs fine, but now I'm noticing it's a little, well, the back wheels here, let's see. Oh, I just noticed it's kind of pulling apart a little. That's not a good sign, but it's a little back heavy now. It's like leaning up like that, basically. But I'm curious what's inside, what makes up the guts of this particular model. So once again, it's got a gold paint, black body. Here's those the reeds here. Again, there's no windows on the cab. The sound is coming out of here, which is the sandbox. The switch is up here. Let's open it up and see what's inside. My screwdriver can fit. I'll probably have to go. Wait, I think I got another screwdriver in here somewhere. Yeah, I think I do. Let's see. Is this the right size? Nope. Crud. I might have to leave the live stream for a brief moment, but let's at least get that battery out. Let's see. If I can open it up. Yeah, I can open this up at least. But I'm really curious as to what's inside. Is what's got me curious. I'll have to go downstairs and get a smaller screwdriver. That's what I was trying to say. So if I leave for a couple minutes, it's only because I'm trying to find a smaller screwdriver. There we go. And it has one of these little tabs. There we go. Yep. And there go all the batteries. I'm not promoting who makes them. It's just they happen to be that particular brand. So there's the battery compartment right there. It has one of these little tabs. There we go. So it has this little tab here where the batteries go in, and I will be right back. I am gonna go get a Phillips to get the rest of this open. Okay, I'm back. Alright. Let's see. There's a screw right here. Come on. There we go. Had to press down on it. And then there's two more I gotta unscrew. I think that. I definitely. Okay, I'm definitely getting it somewhere. Got two other ones to unscrew if they will cooperate. Here comes one of them. Let's see, this one's a little strip. It doesn't mean I can't try. Got it. Let's see what makes this loco work. If it'll... Whoa! Didn't expect that. Okay. So, you remove the things and look at that. I bet anything I could pull that out. Actually, it's fairly well glued in there. There's a little gear in there. But there is the motor. Now that looks... If I can get a little closer in there... Maybe. Ah, there's a screw there. Let's see. It's the only screw I'm seeing. But this right here is the motor, and there's grease. I can feel that. You can kind of see it on those gears there. But there's the motor. There's the gears. I like how it does have different gearing. That's kind of cool. Looks like it's got a spring in there, too. It's a little hard to see. But that there looks like it could actually be connected to the funnel here. I just gotta take this off, I think. No, those aren't screws. Those aren't screws here. That looks like just glue. Let's see if I can take this off. I think that'll give me some answers. Alright, let's see here. And I kind of wanted to do something like this, kind of like Leo Kim Video. I still watch his content, so... Yeah, this one particular screw here is giving me trouble. Okay, I think I got it out. No? Come on, you. Am I turning it left? Yeah, I'm turning it left. It's just this one screw doesn't want to come out. I hate that. No. I can't tell if it's glued. Oh, there goes that one piece. Come on. It's really in there, and I can't. Maybe if I get rid of the drive wheels, like I'm taking this whole thing apart. I do want to put this thing back together. It's a pretty impressive little loco. It really is. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like the wheel right here is actually holding it in place. So I'm gonna try to take those off as well. These should come off pretty easy. Yep, there's that piece. Yep, choking hazard. That's the thing about China, is they don't seem to care about quality or safety. They just try to build something, and then it gets, gets in the hands of a kid. They could choke on it, all that. Yeah, not cool. Seriously, this thing is really well built. I took the wheels off, and there you can hear the clicking of the gears. I'm trying to get this one screw out, but it just doesn't want to come out. Maybe it's one of those bigger screws that I just don't know about. Okay, I think I've almost got this screw, but man, it is putting up a fight of not wanting to come out. Come on. I've almost got it. Probably one of those. There we go, finally got it. It took a little bit of work, and that thing is really stuck tight, but there's gotta be something else I'm missing here. Can't spot another screw. There's gotta be another way to get in. I don't know if it pops or... Ow. Alright. This thing is really put together well, and I'm having trouble getting into this thing. I mean, I don't want to break it, but at the same time, I do want to get into this thing. Come on. Oh, that cow catcher. If I have to pull this thing apart, I will. Okay, the cow catcher's off. I think if I have to break this, I will. This is really confusing. I'm having so much trouble getting inside this area here. And I think this right here, this piece right here, might be connected to what's up here. I really don't know, but I'd love to get inside it. I'm having a heck of a hard time trying to get it open without breaking it. There's no other screw, which is kind of annoying. I think there'd be one in the back here somewhere, but I'm not seeing it. Well, the battery's out, you know, it's not going to do anything. Is there any comments? Live chat? No, I'm surprised. No one's talking. Go ahead and talk while I'm trying to wrench this thing open. This thing is really in there. Well, it's part of the framework. That's why it's, let's see if I'm gonna have to pull this apart. Yeah, that looks like a bellows is sunk. And it's definitely looking like there's something in there that could work. And I am just, wow, this thing is just locked in there. I don't know if it slides out or what. It's just giving me, I can't figure it out. This thing is ultra greasy. I just realized that this thing is covered in grease and it's getting all over my hands. I don't want to break this because this thing is actually kind of half decent, but I cannot get into the electrical area. I'm really stumped on how to get into the electrical components because it just will not let me get into the electrical area, which is really ticking me off. I'd love to see how this thing works, you know? Like, I'm not seeing any other screws or whatever. I mean, I'm half tempted to cut this thing open, but I can't figure it out. I thought that screw would release everything, but it just... I can see a screw in there, but it's like I have to pry it open and then hold it. This is gonna pinch my finger, but I don't care. Let's see if I can get there's a screw in there. Let's see if I can get to that. Yeah, I got it. Ouch. It's pinching my finger. Yeah, I get a finger pinched off by a knockoff train. That'd be crazy. Well, I got a screw in there. It's kind of coming up hard, but it's still really held in there. I am really struggling with this thing because it just doesn't want to be undone. But I can't tell if... Yeah, it's definitely a knockoff because of all those reeds. But trying to open up the electrical components has just been a nightmare. Oh! Here's some weights. I just noticed those. That's what probably helps give the traction wheels there a little bit of, are they magnets? Let's see. I can't tell, really. Whoops. Yeah, they're definitely metallic, because, you know, this has a little magnet in it, and it's sticking, but obviously they're kind of heavy. But I just noticed that this piece right here is pretty greasy. You can see it off the reflection of the light here. And I think that piece, I don't know why. Yeah, look at that. I thought this piece right here where I'm putting the screwdriver, I thought this was a separate piece. Because, you know, this looks like you can lift it up to check the gears. But, nope, whoever made it, they just made one big plastic piece here. And, yeah, you can't access the gears. So you literally have to take this all apart. How to get in there is the question. I'm half tempted I had to hit this thing with a hammer and break it open. But I mean, I've come so far. It is really held in there. I got a screw out, but I feel if I keep pulling on this thing, it's gonna break eventually, and I cannot figure out how to open this piece. It's really locked in there. Maybe if I give it a tap off camera, maybe that would help. I don't know. Here goes nothing. Come on. Jeez. I'm really wrestling with this thing. One of those little metal pieces fell off. This thing is really starting to test my patience. I can't figure out how to get into the electrical components, which are under here. I don't see a screw. Oh, lost a wheel. I don't see a screw. I don't see anything that I could like screw like on the funnel. Not here. Nothing. It just doesn't want to cooperate now, and it's really getting greasy because of all the lubricant inside. I don't know if is there a screw down there? I mean, I'm probably gonna chuck this in a little bit. Yeah, I am looking. I don't see anything, and it does have some sharp edges. I forgot to mention that in the previous video. This thing does feel kind of sharp. Yeah, and it's already got some plastic fatigue. It's a little hard to see. But again, I'm just trying to... If I had to break this, $5 for this, kind of well with breaking. Ugh, jeez. I cannot get this thing open. But I'm thinking... Okay. I'm going to try to put this thing back together on camera for you guys. I cannot get into the electrical component, which is really irritating. I'd like to see what's powering all this. I mean, I can see the motor right here. Wait a minute. Can this thing come out? I think it can, if it'll let me. If I can get a flathead in here. Come on. Something's holding it in place. It will not come out. Which is really irritating. There's that. I can't. This is really aggravating. I've been doing this for quite some time. I just find it funny that the wheels just go on like, the other wheels, they just go on like that. And there's no, like, bearings or anything like that. I bet you anything, you give enough force on this wheel here, you could pop off the wheel. If you had a kid with this, they would choke on it and die, These components right here, gold on one side, they're red on the other, they're not finished properly. I'm really close to just finding something heavy and breaking this thing open. $5 for this. I mean, yeah, it's cool and all, but it just has all those hallmarks of just not being made properly. What I'm thinking... Oh, wait. Is that a... No, it's not soft. Let's see. Can I get in there at all? No, there's no screw down there. This moves. You know what? I might just hit this thing with a hammer and see what happens. I might do cleanup here in a second. Let's see. Do I have anything that could do that? Well, part of me wants to wreck this thing. Part of me wants to hold on to it. I just wish this thing wasn't being so stubborn and letting me see how its electrical components are. But it's just being so darn stubborn in being pulled apart. I could keep trying here. If I have to break it a little bit, I will. Gotta be a way to... Come on. Dang it. There's nothing here that is helping me break this, get this thing open. I'm able to get underneath it. Jeez, look at that. I mean, I'm already causing a crack right here. I mean, if I were to force it, I might as well junk it, because I've already taken it apart so much. Because it just doesn't want to open. Don't worry, I didn't get hit. It's just this thing does not want to open up at all. Okay, I'm going to have to start prying this thing. Ouch. I'm going to have to start prying this thing open. I just cut myself a little bit, but... little boo-boo. Little boo-boos never bother me. Just gotta be careful flying plastic. But hey, it also makes it look a little more realistic with a little bit of damage, Like it's gone through something. Just gotta be, ouch, careful where you get open this thing. Yeah, there we go. I hate, sometimes you gotta pry it open. Come on. Yeah, I'm probably gonna toss this or keep it for scrap or something. Because, yeah, this thing just doesn't want to cooperate, and it's really ticking me off. I better go get a Band-Aid. It's actually bleeding a little. Oh my goodness. I have never ever dealt with something this relentless, I'm gonna junk this because I have been trying to get this thing open. It just doesn't want to open. I might try to put it back together. I have no idea, but this thing is starting. This thing has also got a lot of sharp edges. You know what? It's not worth it. There's some neat components in there, and I keep thinking that this right here, bring it, there it is. This right here is some kind of bellows, Like, again, I said that this hole might have been for smoke fluid, but now I'm not sure. Because I put some smoke fluid in there, but, it's already got some oil and grease and stuff. I've been fumbling at this thing for who knows how long. So now, I gotta put it all back together. Alright, let's do it on camera. Just throw in the metal pieces. There we go. Now, I don't know what goes where. There was a screw that I had to... Well, there's a loose screw in there, but I don't know if I can reach it now. And I think one of the wheels is behind the desk here. Let's see. That flat out disappeared. I'll have to grab it later. I might just junk this thing, but yeah. It's really a shame, because sometimes you want to see what's inside something like this, and when it just refuses to cooperate, I cut myself a little bit trying to wrench it open. I don't know if there's a way to get rid of those gears or if there's a way to open this thing. But man, is this thing really relentless in opening up. It's really nerve-wracking. You know, there's obviously a sound chip under this right here. And in the cab, like, I know that there's a battery pack. That's where the batteries go, is right in here. But what I was so curious about was right over here in the front. I was thinking maybe there's a smoke unit. Maybe there's something in there. Because again, yeah, that one piece right here, this little piece right here, goes in like, well, you know how it goes in. You put it in like that. Now, I don't know if there's a few, you know, I don't know what's in there because it just doesn't want to open up and it's really nerve-wracking. So, you know, I don't know what to do with it aside from putting it back together. But I've lost so much patience with this thing. I'm thinking of just getting my own hammer, and hitting this thing. I might do that tomorrow. I don't know. Half of me still wants to break this thing. Half of me wants to say, well, keep it, you know. Let me just do a little bit of educational bit, because in some cases you want to make sure someone's learning, even though this isn't made, you know, I've always marked my YouTube videos as not made for kids. I'm just kind of haphazardly, let's just put this on here, so that way it's not flopping over. Here, nope. Come on. Okay. Come on, get it. There we go. Okay, so now it's on 2 wheels. This plastic is really, it's pretty brittle, and it's also got some sharp edges. It just feels really, really cheap. That's the best way to put it. There is occasional plastic fatigue. It had a lot of oil, a lot of grease inside there. Like if I bring it into camera here, you can see that there's like grease or lubricating stuff all over these gears here. There's the motor. Again, I wanted to see what kind of, just get rid of the wheels here. I don't care. I really want to get inside this thing to see what electrical components is, because all I can see are those 2 wires, the motor and the gears. But again, as you've been watching, or will watch, I've been struggling just to get into the electrical components. I think I can see there's a screw all the way down there. It is so hard to get to because I have to like, well, okay, I broke it, but whatever. I had to wrench it apart. I'm gonna junk it now. Finally, I just, you know, brute forced my way through there. I don't know what's holding this together, but that does say a little bit about what this is made of. There we go. So there's the power pack. We'll talk about this in a second. Yeah, I'll bring the trash can over now. Again, $5 for a knockoff train. That's basically what this is. There was a screw down there. I couldn't see it. But is this thing... I have to twist a little bit. Yeah, there was a screw down in this hole, but, you know, the light made it to where I couldn't do it. But I don't really care. See, it's really hard to tell now. Yeah, you can definitely see there's a speaker right here. This is the main circuit board right here. Let's see if I can wrench it out. Come on. Yeah, I'm gonna break this thing, but it's beyond redemption. There we go. Whew! Sometimes you really gotta wrench things around. Okay, I'm actually curious what this is right here. But, yeah, there's a whole lot of grease inside here. Yeah, it does. I think that is maybe a little chimney bit, but now that I look at it, let me take a closer look. Here's all the wiring. I'll explain all that in a minute, and I'll just grab the trash can. I really wanted to take a look inside. knew this was a knockoff where I bought it a couple years ago in Los Angeles. It just said like high-speed train. It had all the hallmarks of being, a knockoff toy. New to the market, best welcome for the children, stuff like that on the box. I chucked the box the moment I got home a couple years ago. I can't get to that screw at the moment. Come on. Sometimes you gotta push down on it in order to get anything going. Whoops. Well, it's hard to tell. But, okay, there's the speaker. That's what was making all that noise right there. Well, you heard it on the thing. There's one of those loose screws. It's got a magnet on there, so it's definitely got some power to it. You can see that there's a loose screw in there, but it is stuck to that magnet on the speaker, and the speaker was making those loud noises. And I just lost that screw. I'm more curious what's in the front here. This screw will come out. This is one thing I don't like about dealing with things like this. This is only my, second time I've looked. Okay, just twist it. There we go. This is what I'm curious about right here. See if I can pop it out or whatever. Looks like it can come out. Let me talk a little bit about the electronic package. I mean, that thing is really on there. Yeah, I'm going to bring over the trash can like I've mentioned. Oh, lost a wheel. Here we go. This is what I was curious about. Interesting. Huh. This was a smoke unit. Okay. So this right here, this was, well, again, sorry for all the grease, but there's a whole ton of grease on this thing. This looks like this could have been a heating element right here, because I'm seeing these wires go into here. So this little silver piece, sorry, I keep forgetting where the camera is. I know it's like right there. But this little silver piece, it's a little hard to see because of the, there it is. You see that little silver piece in there? That must have been a heating element. And this right here is where all the smoke fluid goes in. So I was filling this up, and this would have been, I guess, heated, on the bottom. I'm not going to break it open. But this would have been like, I guess this would have heated the smoke fluid and then pushed it up. Yeah, I can see a little gap inside here. The smoke fluid then would have come up and out the chimney here. Shame I wrecked it, but percussive maintenance. So yeah, I was right. And then you got this little, I think, well, someone in the model railroad community will tell me what this is for. This was pushed up right here against the smokestack. So that little piece right here, I was right in saying that this was the smoke fluid unit. But I guess there was just too much, there was not enough power. Now let's take a look at the brains here. This, do I have any scissors? Be right back. Let's do some snipping of those wires so we can take a closer look at some. Yeah. I also got the trash can. So let's take a look, see. Once I finish the live stream, then that's probably when I'll toss all this. Well, let me do some snipping of wires here, along with the, we'll take a closer look at the smoke unit again. So let's snip that. It's a lot of red, white, and green wires in here, which is kind of interesting. But, okay, almost got it. Just gotta do a quick unscrewing. Some of these pieces can probably be salvaged, others cannot. Forgot that this thing is still attached to the body shell and all. But hey, $5, it's not worth much. So, real quick, Oh wait, I can take out the speaker, and then I'll just throw the shell away, and I'll talk about the little components here and there. Again, my first look at a knockoff product was actually when I was vacationing in Mexico. The knockoff products know no bounds. They will sell it in various countries, whether it be Leo Kim Video's home turf in Australia, whether it be in a place to just relax like in Mexico, or back here in the good old US of A. The knockoff toy companies know no bounds. They will just relentlessly sell this stuff, and they will continue to do so. Okay, so there's the shell. It looks good. I might save the shell at least because it does look nice. You know, I could probably turn this into, you know, broken pieces or something, and these could be like for a scrapped something for a model railroad club or something. I don't know. I'm just thinking. So I might save the shell at least. It does look nice as like something like that. But let's take another look at this. So as I was saying, I was right in thinking that this was a smoke unit. But this is a weird smoke unit. I was thinking it could have been like the one I saw Leo Kim Video in one of his earliest dark side videos, as he calls it, where it's an actual bellows, you know, where you have something pushing up underneath, something heating it, and then it comes out the chimney. This one I've never ever seen built like this. I mean, really, I've never seen a smoke unit built like this. If I could, like, take apart one of my Broadway Limited models, I could try comparing this. So I'm actually going to hold on to the pieces. Just like all these little pieces like this, I'm actually going to get rid of. There's that O-ring. I can't. I think this is supposed to be like an absorbent because again, there's a whole lot of grease on my hands. So I'm thinking that this could be like some kind of absorbent if there's too much smoke fluid. Speaker. This is what was making the noise, and it's got a little weight to it. Here's the green wire. There's a little plastic piece over it, but you can imagine this was, I think, yeah, this was pushed up right against, let's see, if I bring in the shell, yeah, this was right here. And it was basically going up and then out. Let me bring in the shell one more time. It was coming out of these tiny little holes in what would have been the sandbox. So it's got a magnet, probably to help with sound. Yeah, that's the speaker. It's a pretty decent looking one too. All right, then you had a whole bunch of screws. These metallic pieces, there were two of them. There's the other one. So these guys right here, they're weights, and weights can be helpful. I'm going to save these because I could put these in my HO scale trains, and I can use these for like either like a part or some kind of load for a freight car. But these help with weighing down a train or a locomotive, and they're not magnetized, I can tell. But these are nice to hold on to in case you need to make a weighted car or locomotive. Sometimes if you put them near the traction wheels of a steam engine for HO scale, it gives it a little more, you put a little more weight down, and it'll help the traction wheels grab onto something, the rails, and help you go faster and pull more. Here's the cow catcher. Cow catcher made it through. My hands became the hammer, basically. Here's the chassis. I'm going to toss that. Here's what was holding the... Whoops, I bumped the camera. Here's what was holding the smoke unit in place. Junket. Along with the cow catcher and all these other little pieces. Well, these screws might come in handy, but these loose wires, not so much. Here's the bottom of the... I mentioned earlier, this piece right here. It looks like it would be, you can access the gears. But it's not. That's what I thought this screw was for, was to hold that in place. But man, was I deceived. And again, it's covered in all kinds of lubricating grease. I'm going to hold on to that piece, like that, basically. Yeah, everything I'm going to hold on to, I'm going to put in the back there. Let me just move the scissors out of the way. This is the bottom of the battery compartment. I'll put that there. Let's move that all over there. Because again, those screws might come in handy. Here's that driving rod. I showed it briefly. Gold on one side, red on the other. You can tell they didn't care about what side. And this can be a choking hazard if you unscrew that screw. Junk it. This was the cap for the smoke unit there, so I'm going to put that back there. So I'm going to hold on to all this, along with all the screws and whatnot. The last thing, there's two more things I need to talk about. I know I've been going for quite a bit, but I did want to talk about like the build quality, like what I'm going to be doing in the future with stuff like this. Junk that. Put the screwdrivers to one side. There we go. Here's another one of the driving rods. Time to junk it. There we go. Alright, let's take a look at the power unit here. And then I'll probably save it. But it's a little hard to, yeah, there we go. You can see how much oil or grease or whatever was used on this powered truck here. Or powered truck I think is what British people say. I don't know what, I actually forgot what Americans would say. But there's the motor. Motor's in a good shape. There's a worm gear. It's a little hard to see, but there's a worm gear right there. It's a little hard to spot. It's right where my finger is. And then there are 3 different gears. You saw it in part 1, but there are 3 different gears. And I think there's a spring right there. But I am just, I'm just feeling my hands, and I can see a whole bunch of lubricating grease or something on this power unit here, and it is just ugh. I mean, it's one thing to keep this thing nice and moving, because when you move without some kind of grease, it's just gonna be like this. It's gonna feel like, if I put it down on the ground here, it's a little hard to see because of the camera, but you hear that clicking. That means the gears are engaged, and it sounds like I'm turning a knob, basically. I'm going to keep this. The plastic itself, it's not real low-end plastic, though it does fatigue kind of easily. Fatiguing means you leave plastic out for too long, it'll start fading, but it'll also get really soft, and then you get if I left this in the sun for over a week or something, I came back and squeezed it, it would just fall apart, basically. That's what fatiguing basically means. But all these, there's our metal components in here, but there's no super small parts. That's what I'm glad this doesn't have. It doesn't have super small parts. Well, technically it does, right here, but it's all secured. Something that some knockoff companies do, but it's got one of these really cheap motors in there. Last thing I'm going to talk about is this right here. This is the little chip. Let me bring it up here. There we go. Got some wires stuck all over it. There we go. I'm going to have to snip that. But this right here is essentially the brain of what that was. Now Leo Kim Video in his videos would mention a black bulb thing, and he thought those were the sound chips. Well, I'm looking at this thing, on the front and the back. I think these were for the lights that were on the front of the locomotive. And it looks like this was made recently. I can bring it into focus here. There's some kind of serial number, and it says 20. Let's see if I pull it out. There it is. There's some serial number, and then it says 2019, either 11th of February or November 2nd. Because I don't know how to read, it could be read either way. But you can kind of see the circuitry in there. I think these were battery packs. No, these are resistors. These are resistors I remember from alternative energy class back in high school. But this right here, this is the circuit board for that. And you can tell it's and obviously it's small. But I don't see that big black bulb that would be the sound chip, I guess. This also has a little bit of grease on it, which is surprising that this thing didn't short circuit. But yeah, this is the circuit board. There's some microchips and all that, some welding, but it looks kind of like haphazard, and it looks like a rat's nest. It looked like a pretty bad rat's nest in there. And again, the reason why I say, and I'm gonna wrap it up here in a second, the reason why I say it was a knockoff train was because of all the reads here. You know, I'll read them one more time. Power and speed, uniquely style. I have to hold this up a little because I tried tilting the camera downwards and it didn't want to tilt downwards. You know, wait, 82,000 what? Power and speed, uniquely styled. This was the clincher right here. Most new style steam locomotive. That's when I felt that this thing right here was a ripoff or a knockoff. And each railway, you know. It just, when I read that, those things, you know, and then no serial number, it just looks like a little handle or a knob you would turn. I mean, it had promise, for sure. The fact that this had a smoke unit and everything in here, like I can fit it back in here, kind of. Yeah, there we go. That's what it looked like when I opened it up, and boom, there it is, and it's completely covered in grease. I'm going to hold on to this, though. I know it looks really weird just holding it like that, but, let me just kind of put it all together. There we go. I threw away the parts I didn't need, but I'm going to hold on to this. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Maybe put it back together in some degree, because I know the wheels are still around. I don't know. But I might use it for other means, maybe? All in due time, I guess. And, I just wanted to unscrew it, but I wound up breaking it, because I was getting frustrated with it. And again, for $5, $5 US, actually it looks kind of cool like that. $5 US, I wouldn't recommend buying this thing. It feels cheap. It can easily cut you, like it did for me. Just, you know, I'm showing you that this stuff here, it's dangerous, and it's probably also illegal to sell in the United States. Yet there's people that find loopholes, I bet, that sell it anyway. That's what happened with this one. And this is also a way of saying, if I find more of this stuff, I'm going to review it. And if it's okay, you know, this stuff is never going to be as good as original stuff. You know, it's just not going to match up. But if I find more of this stuff, whether it be a train, an action figure, whatever, I'm going to make sure to take a look at it and then make it wind up look like it does here. Where I either break it intentionally, but maybe to do some salvaging, because sometimes that can happen, or just completely destroy it. This one, I half destroyed it, but there are pieces I might be able to reuse. Anyway, sorry that this took so long. I was hoping it wouldn't be this long, but it turned out to be that way because I had so much trouble trying to get this thing open. Yeah. See y'all in the next video.